Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pleasure. Appreciate y'all joining me however y'all may be joining me, whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial. If you happen to be locked in, listen live at sasportstar.com via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you're watching live on YouTube. That's right, we stream all of our shows on YouTube, whether that is the Morning Huddle from 6 to 10 with Rob and AJ, the Blitz with Jason and Joe from 2 to 6, or right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure from 6 to 7. We will take you live. Just go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star. You can like, subscribe, comment along with the show as it happens, as everyone in the bullpen already doing, or you can feel free to call in 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. As you heard in my Sports Center, there's a lot to get into as it pertains to the Dallas Cowboys, as they are being mentioned in a multitude of rumors. One of those rumors is Las Vegas Raiders edge rusher Max Crosby, who is a very, very good, dominant, all-around player. Could he be looking for a change of scenery? Could Las Vegas be looking to hit the reset button? Well, earlier today, Jason and Joe went directly to the source to find out about this news that was breaking this afternoon from Trey Wingo in Las Vegas Sports Network and ESPN host of Game Night, Q Myers, who is down there in Las Vegas, was actually at the Raiders facility when they talked to him, as he broke down the latest on the Dallas Cowboys and the potential pursuit of one Max Crosby.
What would the Raiders want for a Max Crosby? We can speculate all day. Let's go out to Las Vegas and find out. Our friend Q Myers from Raider Nation Radio, and you hear him nationally on ESPN Radio, joining us now in the Buyers Barricades guest line. And look, Q, we know nothing happens in that building without your knowledge, including how many pieces of gum Pete Carroll chews in a day. So what does the Raiders want for a Max Crosby?
You know, it's so funny, and I knew that this conversation was going to happen, especially after the Raiders got blown out by the Chiefs and was embarrassed on a Sunday. I knew that this was going to happen, especially on their bye week. Look, I don't think that they want to move him at all, to be honest, just straight off the top. I don't think that they want to move him. They gave him that contract extension. They really want to build this team around him, and Pete Carroll has said that he wants to win a lot of games. Now, with that being said, they, as you know, are 2-5. They're not winning a lot of games, and who knows what direction that they're going in. So if they were to pick up the phone, which they'd be silly not to, and someone calls like Jerry Jones, I think it starts at 2 first-round picks. Now, I'm not saying that that's what it's going to take. That's what's going to actually be the move, but I think that's where you start in negotiations. As you know, you want to aim a little high and then see where you end up. But I think it has to start with the 2 first-round picks, and I don't remember the exact capital that they got for giving up Micah Parsons. I can't remember exactly what Green Bay gave up, but you're going to try to get as much as possible because obviously the Raiders need as much talent as possible on this team.
It was 2 first-round picks. Anna Kenny Clark is what
right.
Green Bay gave up for Micah Parsons. So you look at
I don't think they get that. I don't think they would get that, right? So I think that I think Micah Parsons clearly is going to get more in return than Max Crosby would.
Well, you know, Q, what's interesting is the Cowboys, at least according to Trey Wingo, have inquired with the Raiders. Now, I don't know if that's just a thing. Hey, what do you want for him? But I would assume if other teams feel like a Max Crosby might be available, there's going to be some competition here.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, like I said, it would be silly for the team not to at least listen to those calls because, again, they're in a situation where they have void of talent on this roster. So I think that a lot of calls are going to be made during this bye week leading up to the November 4th trade deadline. It's just who's going to be the most, intriguing offer if there's an offer made, and where does it benefit the Raiders the most? Like going to the Cowboys in the NFC would make more sense than going somewhere that's an AFC team, right? Somewhere in that they're going to have to face more often than not. They don't want to face Max Crosby. So, it's going to really be interesting. But the next 2 weeks, I've tried to warn Raider Nation, buckle up, because that's all you're going to hear is your star Max Crosby and all the headlines and rumors.
So are you saying that it's not smart to trade within the conference, like sending Micah Parsons to Green Bay? I digress. Q Myers joining us here on the Blitz from Raider Nation Radio. Out of curiosity, Max Crosby is from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, went to high school in Colleyville.
Yep.
I know he signed that deal and he had every intention of staying there and rebuilding with Pete. It's awful there, right? That team has not been good. What has Max Crosby's demeanor been like? In other words, do you think he might be asking to get out? Could he be asking to go home?
I don't think he is, not at this stage of the game. Every time I see him at the facility, and it's funny, I'm literally at the facility right now. We're about to get into the locker room, but he didn't practice today. He's obviously getting
Zillow.
treatment.
He's checking Zillow for houses in Frisco.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. But no, I think he's getting treatment. I've seen his car in the parking lot, so I know he's here in the building. He didn't practice, so yeah, we're going to get in the locker room in a minute. But he's been upbeat, up-tempo. Every time I see him and just say what's up to him. He's always talking, and he's got a lot of love here for the Las Vegas area. He's got a bunch of Papa John's that he owns, and he's obviously the face of the franchise. So I don't think that in any means he wants to leave. But if he ever gets to the point where he does want to leave, and this could be the opportunity, because again, it's a couple weeks away from the trade deadline, he could look at it and say, "Hey, I'm wasting my prime time here at an organization that's not going anywhere." So, I mean, it could end up becoming like a mutual thing. But I think that his heart truly is, if we're just being 100, I think that his heart truly is still here with the Raiders.
Now, that said, you mentioned he owns a bunch of Papa John's. You know who owns a bunch of Papa John's in the Dallas area? Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones.
I do.
Right? I mean, a couple of trades in 3 franchise locations could get this. No, that'd be illegal. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's more dots to connect.
Hey, the LA Clippers can get it done. I mean, that way. So why couldn't the Cowboys?
I was thinking the same thing. Hey, man, if it works for the Clippers, why not work for the Cowboys? Probably even better for the Cowboys.
Q, what is Max Crosby's injury like? We're hearing it's not severe. Is it a game out, or do you expect him back once the Raiders get back?
Oh, I expect him back. He's just that guy, right? He's a warrior. He doesn't miss any games, and that's what you love about the guy. I mean, he went into the game on Sunday against Kansas City with a banged-up back and a banged-up knee, and then he took the block from Noah Gray right on the kneecap, so that didn't help him at all. But he's already had a little bit of a wrap around his knee, so he's kind of banged up already. And look, this is something that he suffered last year. He injured his ankle and ended up missing like the last 5-6 games. He ended up going on IR and having surgery. So I mean, he's starting to get a little bit older. He's starting to get banged up. It's football. I mean, you know how it is, and the dude never comes off the field. So, he's a little banged up. But I'll tell you what, man, if Max can go, he's going to go, because that's just in his DNA. He doesn't miss any games. You love his spirit. You love his relentlessness. He doesn't want to take a play off, let alone a game off. So, yeah, I mean, that's part of just what you love about Max Crosby.
Which could also hurt some trade value as he's getting older and a little bit more banged up. Now, Q, in all seriousness, I mean, you could say they're going to start with 2-1s, but I don't think, most of us being realistic, that's going to happen.
Agreed.
One of those picks from Green Bay likely would be in play. If you're the Raiders, you're trying to get some picks to rebuild. If players are involved, and there's people talking about what would it take a George Pickens. I unless they're able to sign Pickens, why would they do that? But what position of need do you think the Raiders would focus on more? Because you could, throw in a Diggs, a wide receiver. I mean, where are some areas that the Raiders might look at if you're looking at a pick and some players or a player?
Yeah, I think Diggs would definitely be in play. I mean, Pete loves his cornerbacks, and that's a room that's real suspect right now for the Raiders. They have some guys, but they're not really dudes, right? Like the guys that Pete Carroll wants. Look, I could be talked into the George Pickens trade, but then, like you said, you'd have to extend him. But then I don't know if Dallas wants to hurt their offense, because their offense is phenomenal, right? I mean, that's what's making this even really a realistic thing, is that offense is so good. You just need some defensive help. So I don't know if you'd want to make that move, but they definitely need another weapon, especially since Brock Bowers has been down and now Jacoby Myers has been down as well. And there could end up being a trade for Jacoby, could be on the way too, right? So there's a couple different things in play. I think that anyone, maybe a defensive tackle, right? If there's an extra defensive tackle, but then they just made the trade for Kenny Clark, and that's what they were bringing in to stop the run and be that kind of, disruptor. So I don't know if they would want to move on from him. So there's man, when you have a team that doesn't have a lot of talent on the roster, there's plenty of room. There's plenty of room to add a player. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense. So I definitely think one of the picks that Green Bay sends over is in play, and some kind of player. I think Diggs would probably be at the top of the list. But as I see it, and I guess I'm checking what he's dealing with a concussion right now.
Yeah, an accident or something that happened at the house.
Somebody banged him over the head. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not buying that one. That's right. I knew that's. That's like how the athlete always says, like, oh, my dog tripped me on my way down the stairs or something. Like, yeah, okay, sounds good, man. Something happened there. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's something to look at twice before they make that call.
Q, I've got to ask you, has Pete Carroll talked today yet?
No, he talked yesterday.
Okay, so he won't talk today, but you're going into the locker room. I'm assuming that question is going to be asked. Will y'all talk with Max or I know?
Well, if he's there, we definitely will talk. But he hasn't been really available in the locker room the last few weeks. He's been kind of in and out and in treatment. And he's a podium guy. He's an after game guy for sure. We always get him after the game in the locker room, but a lot of times he doesn't do it during the week for the locker room action. So
now I know we don't believe everything that we see on the internet. So I don't know if this is actually true or not, but I did see this on the internet. Somebody screenshotted that Max Crosby has started following on Instagram just about everybody on the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if that's real or not, but is that a sign? Is he a big IG guy?
I saw that earlier, and it's funny. It's funny that you mentioned IG because I was like, I'm sure he was probably following those guys already. But the other day, and I mentioned this to him in the locker room, he did an endorsement ad for a moving company, and they were in his house and they were moving all his stuff, and a bunch of Raider fans started hitting me up. I was like, hey, what does this mean? Is Max moving? What's he doing? Where's he going? So I said that to him in the locker room, and he said, man, I can't do anything. You know I can't. He's like, I don't even control that. And I was like, I bet. But I'm just letting you know, all that moving company stuff that you had out there, people are up in a frenzy now. And so now, obviously, with this report that's out, on top of that, and on top of the IG with the players in Dallas, I mean, you connect the dots, right? I mean, like you said at the top, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire at times. So we'll see.
Well, I tell you what, Max Crosby is a Raider through and through. And if this happens, I'd be shocked as anybody. But I
silver and black to the blue and silver.
I'd like to see him in a Cowboys uniform.
Absolutely.
It wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, look, I can see it. And the Raiders have made a lot of trades and a lot of transactions with the Cowboys. I mean, it's not like they don't, see eye to eye more times than not. These are two organizations that work well together and they make business deals together. So, again, nothing would shock me at this stage of the game. Once Khalil Mack got traded, when I just knew up and down he was never going to get traded, nothing's off the table for me anymore.
Hugh Myers from Raider Nation Radio and weeknights on ESPN Radio nationally. I know locker room is about to open, Q. Appreciate you jumping in. If you hear anything good in that locker room, man, shoot me a text and let me know.
Will do. If I get something good recorded, I'll send that over to you too.
Appreciate you, man. Good Thanks. Stuff. Q Myers on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
Q Myers, host of Game Night here on ESPN Radio, weeknights, plus part of the Las Vegas Sports Network. Always great catching up with Q Myers, and he says he can see a deal if things come down to it. So it'd be very interesting to kind of see how things play out as it pertains to that, because you look at, like Sam in here saying, Pickens will take 25, 4 years, fully guaranteed. Nah, maybe the fully guaranteed part might get it done, but 25 a year, I don't think so. Fred Record says closer to 32. That I could see. T. Higgins got 4 years, 115, so basically almost 29 a year. And he took a bit of a discount because he would have gotten way more on that on the open market, in my opinion, especially with receiver needy teams like Tennessee or like New England out there that are pining to get receivers to pair with their young quarterbacks. So much so that New England went out and signed Stephon Diggs. So he's going to get over 30. Is it more than CeeDee Lamb? I don't know, because while it's more than CeeDee Lamb now, remember, price values go up, floors rise, and sometimes you may not be considered better than, but you're going to get paid more than, just because that's the way the market works. And he's putting up the numbers right now, and that's all that matters. He's putting up the numbers in a contract year. And let's face it, most people remember the last thing they saw. And the last thing they're seeing of George Pickens is really, really elite. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger, right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 941 FM, sasportstar.com. I was looking, Bleacher Report's already got articles out as it pertains to the potential of trading Max Crosby. And they've got one with the Buffalo Bills, one with the Detroit Lions, and one with the Dallas Cowboys. The one with the Cowboys, it is a first rounder and fifth rounder this upcoming draft, a first rounder and a sixth rounder in 2027, and Mozzie Smith. So 2 firsts, a fifth, and a sixth, plus Mozzie Smith. The price feels steep, but when you look at the others that are also in play when it comes to this, whether it is, if you look at the Detroit Lions one, it is a first rounder this year, a fourth rounder this year, a first rounder next year, and a fifth rounder next year, along with defensive tackle Roy Lopez. Hey, former Houston Texan, you go. And for Buffalo, it is a first this year and a first next year, a fifth this year, and edge rusher AJ Epinesa, along with wide receiver Curtis Samuel. So the price is high on all of these, and it is at least 2 first-round picks with all of these. But remember, the one thing you are getting is Max Crosby locked up. You don't have to worry, like Micah, paying him $47 because the market's blown up, or Trey Hendrickson over $40 because the market is what it is. He's locked up. He signed his deal. He is making about $30 million a year, and you'd have him under contract for the next 2.5 seasons. It's not bad. And I think that's where that extra first comes from, is the contract security and the price point that he is at compared to the rest of where the NFL is when it comes to the edge rush market. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 941 FM, sasportstar.com. We had Monday Night Football last night, and man, I wish we didn't. What did we see out of the Texans? What about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Can they sustain with all these injuries? We'll get into it as we come back right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Home of the Dallas Cowboys.
We love high school football and a team you can always count on. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quartermoon is here to tackle the toughest challenges, from plumbing mishaps to AC troubles, with the same dedication and passion that drives the winning touchdown. Our playbook is simple: fair prices, expert service, and a commitment to local families. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, your winning solution for a comfortable home. Proudly serving our community with local hospitality. From the pit house to the outhouse to the schoolhouse, call Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo, No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
Is it just me, or has watching television gotten way more complicated than it used to be? There are a million different services, lots of stuff you want to watch but can never find, and don't get me started on the bills. Well, thankfully, there's Philo, a better way to TV. For as low as $33 a month, I get the channels I love, MTV, BET, Food Network, you name it, plus everything that AMC Plus has to offer. And guess what? They better access the HBO Max Basic with ads plan and Discovery Plus, so I can enjoy all the best TV with one subscription. The best part? There are no contracts, no surprise fees, and just one low price. And their DVR is awesome too. I can save everything I love on Philo for up to a year and skip the ads when I rewatch them. That's a total game changer. I signed up directly at philo.tv. That's philo.tv, so I could lock in the best price around. Philo is the easiest decision I've ever made. Now the hard one is trying to decide what to binge next.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight and you can't even throw in internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hi, I got hurt in a wreck, but I don't know if it's really worth getting an attorney.
Don't worry, you called the right place.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7, and you don't pay unless we win. We recently secured a jury verdict for $210 million in a wrongful death case. So if you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
I'm Shanola Hampton. Every day, millions of people face hunger. Today, I will share with you some of their experiences. I'm stuck between paying for medications or paying for food. John from Maine. After paying my bills, I can buy groceries. It's sad to say, food comes last. Alice from Oregon. I thought pantries were for less fortunate people, but anybody could be less fortunate in a day or even a second. Claire from Virginia. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. No one should have to worry where their next meal will come from. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
94.1.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pledger. Appreciate y'all riding through with me tonight as we'll take you up till 7 o'clock. We got NBA basketball tonight. That's right. Talk some Spurs coming up here in just a little bit. But last night was a total embarrassment if you're a Houston Texans fan. Coming off the bye and unloading that performance up in Seattle. That wasn't the only game that happened on Monday night, but the Morning Huddle was reacting to what happened on Monday night. And let's just say for us Texans fans, it wasn't great.
A lot of NBA talk today. We didn't even really mention the football games from last night.
There wasn't a lot there, but worthy of. I mean, we saw.
I think
now we're talking with Seattle. We're talking. That's a good football team.
I think with Detroit too. Detroit's starting to figure some things out. Mm-hmm. That was a pretty one-sided game. Like but most impressive for me was the Lions defense. The Bucks were helpless
for about
that's scary. There's a war of attrition with those guys. They're really, really banged up. I think they're just running out of bodies. But that's worst case with Tampa. That's
the Bucks defense also, like, all 4 starters for the Bucks secondary were out last night, and and now, granted, there's some injury, and there was more injuries last night. Mike Evans, that it looks like the 1,000-yard streak season is going to come to an end. He's going to be tied with Jerry Rice. He's not going to break that because he broke something else last night, broke his collarbone. Super unfortunate ending to his season. But yeah,
2 playoff caliber teams. I mean, we saw 2 good football teams play last night and did what they needed to do. Darnold is first of all, the Texans defense is solid. So anything that they did was really, really well executed.
But their offense is trash.
Yeah.
It's bad.
So beating the Texans ain't that hard, but if you can score a couple of points, which isn't the easiest thing to do. That was an impressive win from Seattle. Detroit, this is fine. Do that. Let's see what happens in the playoffs, man. This you're not what Detroit told me last night is, yes, you are what we thought you were going to be when you hadn't lost your coaches, your OC and DC. They've rebounded from that. Now you're just going to have to prove that you can beat a big team on a big stage. And that was a nice win last night. But you are who we thought you were.
The NFC West is by far the best division in football.
Easily.
Think about this. The Rams 5-2. And we saw what they did without their best offensive player last week in London.
Dispatch a team that thought they were good.
It beat the snot out of the Jags. The 49ers keep winning despite being the 48ers and being a man short everywhere. They're still 5-2. Seattle's now 5-2. Arizona, listen, I'm not trying to say Arizona's great, but Arizona has lost 5 games in a row, and the biggest loss in that group has been by 4 points. And it's been to they lost to the Niners by 1, Seattle by 3, Colts by 4, Packers by 4. Right. They're not losing to bad teams, and they're barely losing, and they're on a backup quarterback.
And I think he's going to be their starter. You got to worry about him. It's those other 3, and one of them's going to get left out. One of them's not going to go to the party, which is going to be a very interesting.
I don't know.
We'll see. I think the Cowboys might be racing into a place where they might steal a wild card spot from somebody.
That would be impressive, but I mean, right now, unless the only one I could see San Francisco falling apart, but I think the Rams and the Seahawks might be the 2 best teams in the NFC.
Last night, Seattle looked really, really good. I'm not full in like I am on the Rams, but that's a good football team.
I can't believe I'm looking at Sam Darnold going, yeah, this is one of the best teams in the NFC. And for the second year in a row, Sam Darnold is quarterbacking one of the best teams in the NFC.
Minnesota has ruined the day.
It's absolutely insane.
Direction. But the one thing that I worry about Seattle is a consistent run game. If they can run the ball like they did kind of last night, that's scary. That's good.
It's basically split carries between Walker and Charbonnet last night. Charbonnet ended up with a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, they're giving it to the wrong guy because Canine's on my fantasy team.
Oh,
they're making terrible decisions on field.
Their decisions are resulting in touchdowns. So I think they're probably happy
about
with it.
winning. Let's worry about things that matter. My fantasy roster.
Whereas the Texans now are, they are. I don't want to say they're not quite corpse bad, but they're close to corpse. If you told me they would have they'd have one more win than the Titans at this point, I would have said something's gone drastically wrong, and clearly something's gone.
This is bad, man.
Yeah,
this is really bad. You shouldn't be this bad of a football team, and I know injuries are a reason, but you didn't stock up appropriately for 2 consecutive off seasons. I mean, this is bad. This is a bad situation to be because now you're not terrible. You're not good. You're just average. You're an average football team. That's the worst place to be.
I mean, their only 2 wins are over the hapless Titans and the corpse of the Ravens without Lamar Jackson.
This is not where you're supposed to be. And for whatever reason, you aren't there. And one more loss, and it's what about next year? One more loss. You get one more. That's it.
Listen to this upcoming schedule for the Texans. 49ers, Broncos, Jags, at Tennessee, Bills, at Colts,
at Chiefs.
Yeah, man, it's over. No, they get one more loss and some appropriate wins. They can get themselves someplace close, but I can't see it.
They're going to lose.
Yeah, they're not that good, and there should be better, even with the injuries. I don't see a team that's trying to next man up it. I don't see it. I just think that they've got some talented dudes that are keeping them in games, but the team itself is not worthy.
Look, I don't think it's so much the talent, although the talent's part of the issue, not having Christian Kirk all year. But what in the hell are you not doing playing Jalen Noel more? Why is Braxton Berrios getting snaps over him? Woody Marks being buried on the depth chart for as long as he was before finally like, oh, this dude's got some juice, just like he did in practice. We should probably play him more. And he happens to be better than Daria Gumbawale. It is top-down piss. This reminds me so much of Bill O'Brien, and I've heard them refer to this offense as death by 1,000 cuts. I think CJ referred to it at one point. That is a horrible offense to run, because when you can't not shoot yourself in the foot with penalties and bad plays and negative plays where sacks are a thing and blown assignments and all these things that result in you having to play behind the sticks, the only way death by 1,000 cuts works is if you're constantly moving the ball forward. But they're behind the sticks so much, you need shock plays. You need things to help keep you on schedule because you're not consistent enough to be death by 1,000 cuts. That takes consistency, which is something that this offense hasn't shown in years. And that dates back to Bill O'Brien. And there's something about that New England mindset. And make no bones about it, Nick Caley comes from New England. He spent the majority of his coaching career there. He's only spent the last 2 years under Sean McVay in Los Angeles before coming to Houston. This feels like a Caserio hire. But we're getting to the point with these, and I'm not even going to say bad offenses, because the last 2 years, they've been atrocious. We're getting to the point where these offenses, performances and coordinators and first-time play callers may cost DeMeco Ryans his job. And as a fan of DeMeco, I don't want that. And maybe he needs an experienced play caller in the room finally, or maybe the solutions are in-house. But right now, it doesn't feel like Nick Caley has a solution to anything that is going on that side of the ball. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 941 FM, sasportstar.com. What say you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Sam on our YouTube Live says, no, DeMeco is good. I agree. I want to keep him. But if there are these constant failures and mismanagements, somebody has to take the fall at some point. Will Callahan Hanna axe him or Caserio when it comes to the actual fault of what happened? I don't know. I don't know, because remember, this is also a group that was led astray by a pastor, team chaplain, that became one of the biggest influences on the Houston Texans in Jack Easterby. That all happened under the transition between Bob McNair's passing and Cal McNair taking the reins. And that's when he grabbed his power within the organization. So I don't know who will take the blame for it, but I'm just saying, the worse a head coach is, whether it's the assistants around him or not, the head coach does come under fire after some time, especially when it's happened with multiple different coordinators. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger here on San Antonio Sports Star, 941 FM, sasportstar.com. When we come back, Spurs season is upon us, which means it's time to get reacquainted with our good friend Jeff McDonald as we get you ready for the start of the Spurs season, which is tomorrow night when they take on number 1 overall pick Cooper Flagg and the Dallas Mavericks. We'll get you ready for that coming up next, right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys are in Denver taking on the Broncos at Empower Field at Mile High. Pre-game at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim Beam. You like that? How about them Cowboys? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hi, everybody. It's Joe Reinigle. You know, summer is behind us, so now is the time to get your roof inspected and be ready for whatever winter has in store for us. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. They're a local, family-owned company. You know, the folks at Stevens Roofing deal with the same weather we do. Your roof protects your home. It protects your family. For comfort, confidence, and peace of mind, get your roof buttoned up for winter. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994, or go to stevensroofing.net.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
My name is John. I could not lose the weight I needed to. The Institute for Functional Health Wellness Program was the answer. It included a great deal of testing, supplements, and weekly face-to-face doctor visits. I finally had the accountability I needed. I am now 50 pounds lighter. I no longer have pain in my elbow, back, and hips. I have more energy and just feel and look so much better.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Is it just me, or has watching television gotten way more complicated than it used to be? There are a million different services, lots of stuff you want to watch but can never find, and don't get me started on the bills. Well, thankfully, there's Philo, a better way to TV. For as low as $33 a month, I get the channels I love, MTV, BET, Food Network, you name it, plus everything that AMC Plus has to offer. And guess what? They better access the HBO Max Basic with ads plan and Discovery Plus, so I can enjoy all the best TV with one subscription. The best part? There are no contracts, no surprise fees, and just one low price. And their DVR is awesome too. I can save everything I love on Philo for up to a year and skip the ads when I rewatch them. That's a total game changer. I signed up directly at philo.tv. That's philo.tv, so I can lock in the best price around. Philo's the easiest decision I've ever made. Now the hard one is trying to decide what to binge next.
Joel, don't you just love Halloween?
It's okay, but I do like your troll costume.
I'm not wearing a costume.
Folks, if your home's AC starts making those witching sounds or the pipes in your wall start moaning and clanging like ghosts having a party, call Quarter Moon at 651-5899 and we'll send our team of highly trained
Ghostbusters!
I was gonna say technicians.
I ain't afraid of no clogs.
Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, 651-5899. License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
94.1 FM.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm James Pledger, taking you up till 7 o'clock. I appreciate all y'all for riding through with me tonight, especially as I vent about how awful and pathetic my Houston Texans offense is and what a waste we're doing for the defense, which does not escape blame last night either. They gave up a quick 2 touchdowns on their first 2 drives, both over 75 yards. So let's not act like they're faultless or blameless in that loss anyway either, but they did keep them in it. But the San Antonio Spurs, let's hope that things look a lot better for them as they get set to start the season this coming Wednesday, tomorrow night, when they take on the Mavericks on ESPN. It's a game on ESPN for their NBA tip-off. And because the NBA season's here, we love to talk to our NBA insider. That is right. Earlier on the Blitz, Jeff McDonald of the San Antonio Express News ended up joining to kind of shed some light on what's about to happen in Wemby's year 3 season loading.
Expectations for this year, Jeff, obviously playoffs. You heard Wemby say that yesterday. I'm curious, though, first year starting with a new head coach. And I know Mitch Johnson had a long runway as an interim coach, but what impact, what differences will we see now that this is truly Mitch's team?
I think that's still to be determined, I think. But I think now he has the chance to put a little bit more of his stamp and his flavor on things that he just didn't have last year when he didn't have the title. You know, he was just the acting coach for 77 games last year. And, you know, those of us who have been around the league realize that you do all your installation and all your practicing really in training camp. And once that's over, it's really hard to reinvent the wheel. So when Mitch took over, Mitch probably guided 3 practices last year, 3 full practices, not talking about shoot arounds or walkthroughs, but maybe 3 full practices last year because teams just don't have time to practice during the grind of the season. So there was basically what you had installed in training camp is kind of what you had to go with moderate tweaks here and there, but you can't, he was really just kind of, the way I've heard him describe it is we were just trying to get to the next day, man. Like we were just trying to keep the whole thing from, you know, catching fire, the whole house from catching fire. We didn't really have there wasn't really a lot of time or leeway to be able to figure out other things. And now he's had 6 months since the end of last season to the start of this one, where he's the guy in charge. Brought in a new staff, almost an entirely new staff. There's a couple holdovers, but it's fair to say a revamped staff, a supercharged staff maybe. And all those guys have been talking about different ways to use Wemby, different ways to kind of organize the defense, even stuff down to what the rotations might look like. And so I don't know if there's going to be something just totally like mind blowing that you're going to see night one. That's just like, you know, I can't believe Pop never thought of this. But I think as the season goes on, you'll start to see it to be a little bit more of Mitch's team.
You know, Jeff, you bring up something interesting there. And I remember Pop saying this all the time. It's the rotations and figuring out who plays well together. And really that is sometimes a season-long thing. It would change throughout the season. For Mitch Johnson, it seems to me that might be the, I don't want to say hardest part for him, but the thing that it might take a little while before he figures those rotations out and who plays well with whom.
Yeah, exactly. And especially with, you know, the 5 he starts tomorrow against Dallas is guaranteed not to be his preferred starting lineup when things get going because De'Aaron Fox isn't there. De'Aaron Fox is going to be hurt. And when Fox is healthy, whatever they trot out there tomorrow, which I have a pretty good guess, but whatever they trot out there tomorrow is going to be a little different. Like De'Aaron's going to be the starting point guard when he's healthy. So it's almost like you have kind of a placeholder lineup a little bit in there. And anything you figure out around it now is going to change when De'Aaron comes back. So, but that's the same. It's the same every year for a lot of teams. You know, you're dealing around injuries and absences and kind of adjusting the rotation accordingly. And it's a year-long, like you said, it is a year-long thing. And the idea when the Spurs were good, when they're playing for championships, it was always basically mid-February on is when they wanted to get things like, this is what we're doing. This is where we wanted everyone to be, everyone to know their roles. And usually that was kind of the purpose of the rodeo trip, was to iron that stuff out. So if the Spurs are, the team that they want to be this year, and at least in the mix for that stuff, I think they might follow the same kind of pattern where there's a little bit of an experimenting the first few months, but by mid-February, March, you really want to have an idea of what you're doing.
Jeff McDonald of the San Antonio Express News here on the Blitz, listening to some of the things that Wemby said yesterday, especially when it comes down to winning. Is there more of an emphasis on winning with an actual get to the playoffs goal in mind versus, say, Wemby's rookie year, where it was, let's just figure out what this kid needs as an NBA player, to last year, we're not skipping steps? Are we done with all of that and the focus is wins matter?
Oh, your short answer is yes, but to put a number on it or to put a seeding on it, Wemby was the only one who was going to do that. I thought that was good. It was a friend of all of our friends. Don Harris was kind of poking around with everybody they brought to the media scrum yesterday about really trying to pin them down on what constitutes progress this year. Is there a number of wins? Is there a playoff seed? And everyone else said what you kind of expect them to say, which, no one's really going to say, if we don't win 52 games, then this was a total bust. Or if we don't make the playoffs even, it's a total bust. No, none of those players or coaches or Mitch Johnson is going to say that out loud, even if maybe they believe it. But so they would just talk in generalities about, well, if we just can continue the progress we've been making, but no really tangible number on it. And they bring Wemby over, and he's like, yeah, if we don't get the 6th seed, it's a total waste.
And that's true, because this was Wemby with the media just the other day.
Success would be, getting to the playoffs and not playing. So I guess that means 6th seed.
Say again?
That means 6th seed.
6th seed. Sounds like 60. Enunciates at the very end, 6th seed, which I'm okay with either. If he said 60 wins, I'm in, because this is a team that has refused to put a number to the expectations or a goal or anything other than incremental progress this entire time. So getting to hear Wemby say, going to the playoffs, being a 6th seed, not a play-in team, those are realistic goals for this team, and it puts a tangible thing in the very front for them to chase all season long. And I think this team has a chance to chase it with how it's constructed finally. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger, right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, SA Sports Star. When we come back, we're going to put a bow on the show, get you ready for a big, big week, which includes tomorrow's game against the Dallas Mavericks for the San Antonio Spurs. Can the Spurs make a statement on opening night for them? Plus, Rockets underway. We'll talk about that one too as we continue here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hola, mi esposo se lastimó en un accidente ayer. ¿Me puede ayudar?
Claro que sí. Estamos aquí para servirle.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7. Our team of Texas attorneys has been helping people injured in car, truck, or 18-wheeler wrecks for more than 25 years. And there's no fee unless we win. Y hablamos español. If you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
From pads and rotors to shocks and struts, coming to a full stop should never mean your business does too. At Napa, we are the pros that know brakes and suspension better than anyone. So when others are grinding their gears, our premium parts and exceptional service deliver results. Whether you're operating a local shop or managing a national fleet, Napa has exactly what you need, when and where you need it. Get the brake and suspension parts you're looking for right now at Napa.
911, what's your emergency?
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month in San Antonio. 7 domestic violence calls happen every hour. The time to end domestic violence in our community is now. Step out of violence. You are not alone. Call 211 for help. Call 911 if it's an emergency.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and AARP Texas are sending Cowboy fans to Jerry World to see America's team play all season long. How do you get in on the action? Head to sasportstar.com now and register to win. sasportstar.com. Live it up with the boys in the Big D from AARP Texas and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Appreciate y'all rolling along with me tonight. We'll take you up to 7 o'clock. We've got a lot cooking right now, including the NBA opening tip-off. And it's kind of cool to see Kevin Durant opening the year against his former team on a ring night. Very cool, as life comes full circle sometimes, as he is now chasing a ring. And those are two of the better teams in the Western Conference. Of course, one is the defending champs. The other, I think it's Oklahoma City, I think it's Houston, and I think it's Denver. Those are your teams that I would power rank probably in that order. Oklahoma City, Denver, Houston, in terms of where they stack up in the championship race, because Houston was good. They were second best team in the Western Conference last year. Problem is they didn't know how to get a bucket when they needed one. What'd they do? They went out and got a guy that can get a bucket whenever they need him to in Kevin Durant. He comes into a ready-made situation. So now looks like the Rockets getting to open up the season against the reigning MVP and the defending NBA champs. And everybody keeps talking about Oklahoma City. They're built to be a dynasty and this and that. And, you know, they just added to their team and there's no subtractions. Well, teams around them got better too. Most notably Denver, who has probably the best player in the NBA in Nikola Jokic. And you had a Cam Johnson subtracting a Michael. I think Cam Johnson is a better schematic fit for what Denver does than was Michael Porter Jr. They've got the guys that they need with Jamal Murray and Joker. They need a guy that can just space the floor and knock it down from outside. That's what Cam Johnson does. And he also is a great wing defender. It's going to be very interesting. Now, can the Spurs make massive moves with what they've done, with Luke Cornett coming off the bench to help kind of solidify that defense when Wemby's not on the court? And do I think we'll get to see them play together? Some, yes, in little spurts. But I think the main reason for Luke Cornett is because of the defensive drop-off you would see when Wemby wasn't on the floor. So this helps to at least mitigate that a little bit. and they've got tons of scoring. I'm hoping with this scoring they have, they've added just enough shooting to open up the lanes for guys like Castle and Vassell and Keldon and Fox and Harper to thrive cutting to the lane with Wemby. It's going to be very interesting. Can't wait for tomorrow when it all tips off. Can't wait to talk to y'all tomorrow. Don't forget, start your morning with Rob and AJ and the Morning Huddle as they get you going, starting at 6 o'clock. Then Jason and Joe on the Blitz from 2 to 6 before right here, Extra Innings takes you all the way home till 7 o'clock. I appreciate all y'all joining me tonight. Don't forget to call your loved ones. You never know what people are going through in life. We will see you tomorrow.
Last year, we bought over 54,000 cars from your friends and neighbors at GiveMeTheVin.com. Why did they sell us their cars? It's because you're worth more and your car's worth more. I know that, and you know that. That's why I created GiveMeTheVin.com. It's the fastest and easiest way for you to sell your car for more money when it's time to sell. I'm sitting here waiting on the other end of GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over those beautiful icy balls. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails round out an adventurous drink menu that's second to none. And Twin Peaks hand-stretched flatbreads